I am Vinnie Torres. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen. But don't worry, I'm here to help you. Get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you'll be lean and mean, guaranteed. It's the Monday show. Yeah, I'm winning. I'm always winning, but sometimes I turn around. Turns out I'm losing again. And, songs always have a meaning for me, right?
Yes.
I don't just play songs willy-nilly. Whenever they all have meaning.
No, there's
yeah.
And sometimes you tell us the meaning, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes I let it hang, see if you guys can figure it out. But that's exactly how I'm feeling right now.
Okay.
I feel like I'm winning, but then I just turn around and I'm losing. And that's why, for the first part of the show, we're going to have special guests on. People are getting to know this guy, Anna, because he's with me on the VIP group. He's kind of the moderator, but he pitches in and he brings the people up and they talk. I think everyone's loving that group. We'll ask him about it. Folks, I'm talking about none other than Chris Shaffer. How you doing, Chris?
Doing well. How you two?
Chris, congratulations. You got introduced. I did not.
Oh.
Well, he did say the Monday show, Anna, and I think that implies that Miss Anna Vocino is also in the house.
She's Monday Anna. Everybody knows Monday Anna. Yeah.
That's a terrible thing to be.
As opposed to Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Anna.
No, you don't want to be Thursday Anna. Look, I'm just saying, I've seen Thursday Anna. You do not want to be involved.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, nobody does. Okay. So, Chris, here I made this decision, Anna, and Anna doesn't know what's going on here.
No, I have no idea what's going on.
I just said,
got on the Zoom for us to record, and then Chris is here, and I was like, okay, cool. We're having a meeting.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, we're recording. And I was like, oh, okay.
And then I hit record, play some Carlos Santana, and here we are. So, out of frustration, all I do is I'm trying to help people. But if you put stuff out there and no one gets to see it, well, you're not going to help anyone, right? You can have the best solution in the world. If you just sit in your basement and don't tell anyone about the solution, why have the best solution in the world? You're going to fail, right?
Right.
So Chris and I, as you know, Megan, who worked diligently for this company, helped me. We started building up my Instagram.
Right.
And, we got it growing and growing and growing. And then all of a sudden, within a year, we picked up almost 100,000 new followers. But all of a sudden, we did that in like 6 or 8 months when I started paying attention to Instagram. Around August, it started going in reverse. And when I say in reverse, they were taking, and people have heard me say this 1,000, they were taking X number of people from me a day. They quit showing it to anyone who was not subscribed to my channel, and they weren't even showing it to those people. And then people started writing to me and going, hey, dude, hey, broski, why did you get rid of me? And it's like, I didn't do anything. It's like, I had to re-up to you because, all of a sudden.
What do you mean? People who were following you were no longer following you?
Yeah. They said, why did you cancel me?
Why did you boot me from your follow list?
I don't boot anyone.
I was going to say, I love that they think that you even know how to do that.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I mean, I mean zero offense by that.
No,
but that's not like something that Vinny would sit there and be like, I'm going to make them unfollow me. Like, you're not like that guy.
I have no idea how any of it works. So,
right.
I started, every time I brought it up to Megan, she just got more frustrated. Then I would bring it up to Debbie. Debbie's like, I'll look into it. I'll figure it out. And Debbie would look into it. That was my Debbie. So,
I don't think you should be doing a Debbie impersonation.
So Debbie,
phone call.
I'll be hearing.
Debbie, he's sorry. He didn't mean it.
I'll be hearing about that invitation of that. But Debbie and I are as close as two human beings can be. And Debbie goes, I'll figure it out. And she goes, look, I've talked to some of the internet gods, and they're telling me that at the end of every year, the fourth quarter, these companies like to purge. So these are just bots they're getting rid of.
They're purging ghost accounts.
Right. And I went, oh, okay. But people are writing to me and saying, hey, why did you get rid of me? Okay.
That's weird. And by the way, I've heard that you're supposed to, if you're not getting engagement, you're supposed to go into your Instagram and go through the people who follow you. And if they don't have a profile picture and they follow like 2,000 people and have no followers, they're called ghost accounts. And you're supposed to knock them. Oh, it's doing symbols. You're supposed to knock them off. And so I did it for 5 minutes and I was like, I don't know if this looks like, because if they follow you and they follow me and they follow, Dr. Tro or whatever, I'm like, that looks like a real person to me. Maybe they just don't want to engage, but they haven't. So I was confused and I stopped.
Yeah. So all of that was going on. And meanwhile, months would pass and I would keep frustrating Megan and Debbie and Chris. And I could tell
You
that
just knew something was wrong.
Every time I would bring it up to these people, I can actively hear their eyes rolling on the other line. Right. And
Gran Torino.
Yeah, it's like
with his tinfoil hat.
It's like, no, guys, look, they keep taking this many people. And even Megan said to me, she goes, really, are you that paranoid? I said, Megan, they got rid of me on Wikipedia and they've done this and they've done that. I don't know why I'm even trying anymore. Right. And when you start asking yourself that question, at some point it becomes real. Why am I even putting out good content on a platform that wants to see me gone? Why am I doing it? Right. So that's why Chris is here today. Chris, as you know, if you guys are in the VIP group, Chris is the other voice in that VIP group. He brings people up to talk, and the whole thing. Chris, before we get into my problem, can we talk a little bit about the VIP group? What do you think about the whole thing?
So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm getting, I think, as much value out of it as anybody in the group. I was talking to the lady standing outside my door here right now, Miss Michelle, the other night. I said, it's funny because I'm involved in a lot of different communities online, and that is the nicest group of people I've ever been involved with. I never get a notification from that group where somebody has tagged me and they're like, to heck with you. It's always, hey, this is something we'd like to add, or hey, thank you so much for staying on an extra 20 minutes on the VIP call last night. Thank you for having the full conversation, or thank you for sharing this, right? Everybody in that group is just so nice and so willing to share that it is kind of, and I know this sounds a little self-serving because we're talking about a group that we run, right? But it is a nice little respite from the entire rest of the internet where everybody always wants something. And that group seems to be all about giving. And Vinny, we had a call on the 15th of January.
Yeah.
And that was our most recent VIP call as of this episode. And we had somebody on who said basically that they were struggling and they needed some accountability help. Right. And I think 15 people on that call said, hey, just let me know, tag me in the group, do whatever. I'm here. That's what we're here for. That's what this group is about. And having that as opposed to what you see on Facebook, right, or Twitter or wherever else, a lot of time is spent online. That level of sanity from that group is something that's been hugely rewardful to me. Is rewardful a word? It's been a big reward for me. Yeah. It's been very rewarding for me personally. That's awesome. And it makes, it just makes logging into that group on a daily basis extremely fun. And, jumping in and saying, hey, what do you need? What are we able to do? That group is so responsive that it's become less work and more fun, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. The whole thing has been, every time I see that I'm doing that, I get a smile on my face because all I guaranteed people is like, hey, I'm going to be on for an hour twice a month. And I don't think we've gone less than 90 minutes. Even the football game was coming on the other. I said, look, I know everyone wants to get to the football game on Monday night, right? It's the playoffs, wild card playoffs. I promise to get all of you guys out of here in 60 minutes. You get to the playoff game. We went 95 minutes because I wasn't about to cut anybody off and try to answer as many questions as I could. And that's just the way it is, right? And By the way, Anna, I don't know if you know, the group is open. It's still open right now, right, Chris? People can still sign up.
Yeah, I think
that.
This airs
That-
Monday, the 22nd.
the 22nd. And
All
I
right,
think
Chris, let's keep sign up open through what's Saturday night or Sunday night or something like that of the following week.
Sunday would be the 28th. So Saturday night would be the 27th of
Okay.
January.
Okay, midnight Sunday night. So we'll give people until midnight Sunday night.
When is your next call with that group?
It'll be probably that next Monday.
Oh, okay.
29th, because it's the end of the month. I would.
You know, it would be fun if we scheduled an extra. I can do a cooking demo, but we can give like 3 recipes in the group and let them vote on which one they want to do. Have a recipe demo. And I
Okay.
could do a live broadcast from the kitchen.
And you know what, Anna? Here's what we'll do. Chris, can we do that? Wait, hang on.
Absolutely.
Chris, can we do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, Anna, absolutely. So here's what we're going to do.
I say super confidently until we get to 5 minutes beforehand.
I know.
Okay, so Anna, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do that, but
Yeah.
we're not going to do it as one of the 2 calls.
No. We'll do it as a bonus.
We're going to do.
I wouldn't take away your time.
We
with
don't
the
call it
people.
bonus around here, Anna.
Lagniappe.
We call it lagniappe. We're doing in February.
Laissez les bon temps rouler.
Yes, that means let the good times roll. See, I know my Cajun. All right, here's the thing. We're going to do that the first session in February, which will probably be the second week in February because, well, February is a short month.
We'll have to figure out. I think I'm going to be in Atlanta that week, but we'll figure it out.
Anna,
We'll figure it out.
you want to sign up? Anna's going to be doing
We'll get a date.
thing.
We'll get a date on the books. But before then, we want people to vote anyway.
Anna, set up a thing of the meals you want to do and let them
Yeah,
vote.
I'll give them to Chris what I think would be fun ones, and then they can vote.
Yeah, and then
Which,
we'll.
by the way,
go on.
the VIPers have been going crazy over is it the creamy pesto chicken.
It's a good one.
Like 4 people in a row made that in the group the other day.
Good. Yeah, it's
Like,
really good.
There were leftovers. There are no longer leftovers.
No.
Right? It was kind of the response that everybody had. So
That's one that there are no leftovers.
By the way, Anna,
Yeah,
I've been doing Anna Vocino gourmet meals since Miss Serena's been gone.
I'm so proud of you.
And by the way, I think I'm giving you a run for your money on cooking and being in the kitchen. I don't know if
you are.
yeah. Look.
Soon. You don't need me. This is part of my phase out plan.
Yeah, they're getting rid of Anna plan. Look, I would love to say that anyone saw it, but Instagram only showed it to 10,000 people. So
that's good though. My Instagram shows it to maybe 1,800 people. So
it's just ridiculous. All right. So Chris, the reason we have Chris on, okay. Chris and I decided, okay, they don't want to play with me over at Instagram. They stopped playing with me over at Facebook a long time ago, which is the same company, right?
yeah,
Instagram,
it is.
Facebook. And I've been just for the past several years going to Twitter and just answering every question twice a day. I probably spend 2 hours a day of my day just answering questions for free on Twitter. Hour in the morning, hour at night. And it's a rare occasion. I'll even tell people I won't be answering for the next day or 2 because I'm traveling or something, or whatever the case may be. I'm working on a project. But I said to Chris, I said, why can't I just put those same good videos that I was just giving to a company that doesn't give a shit about me and hope to go away? Let's give them their dream. I'm not going to pull down my Instagram,
Right.
but I'm not going to go there first. I'm going to go to where people like me first. I'm going to go to the X, right? And I'm going to put the equipment up on the X.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do what the kids do. I'm going to put it on the TikTok, even though no one pays attention to 61-year-old men on TikTok.
No, that's not necessarily true.
Well, I'm going to be putting it on the TikTok and in the X. And you ready for this, Anna?
Uh-huh.
I am also on the Rumble. I don't know if you know about the Rumble, Anna. You could go to the
I've
Rumble.
heard of that.
Okay, it's kind of like
Is it called the Rumble?
yeah, it's called the Rumble. And here's the deal. You get to go there and put up videos. And unlike my videos, and Chris can tell you this, I started making high quality videos for YouTube, but YouTube went, we won't even show it to your 20,000 plus subscribers. We'll show it to a couple of thousand and you'll be lucky. And Chris, am I making this shit up? Chime in.
No. And that's kind of the thing that's funny, right? Subscribers went out the window on YouTube a while ago, but since you have a subscriber base, you would think they would at least show your videos to some of them. And you and I were talking the other day, and I said, you know, Rumble is a thing, right? It doesn't have the same reach as YouTube, but looking at some of the people who are on there, there seems to be a little bit of, for lack of a better term, an alternative health community that's sprouting up on Rumble, right? Some of the people you've had on the Friday show are posting just random videos on Rumble and getting more reach there than they are on their YouTube channel. So let's take a whack at it. And I don't know what it's going to look like by the time, Vinny, that this episode comes out, but we posted a couple reels on Rumble, which are not the right kind of video, quote unquote, right? For Rumble, because they're a vertical format, not a horizontal format, right?
Right.
And you have 0 followers over there, no reason they'd show them to anybody, and we're getting a couple of views a day. And it's like, it's kind of a miracle that anybody can even find it, because we're not doing anything from a search engine perspective. We're just posting content that's not even the quote right content, unquote, for the platform, and starting to see some reach over there. So you and I sat down and said, hey, if we're going to keep doing some of this video stuff, if we're going to put it out, we want to put it in a place where people are going to see it. And it doesn't mean that it won't show up on YouTube. It doesn't mean that it won't show up other places, but we want to put some real time, energy, and effort behind growing something where you're not being, and I don't even know if censored is the right word, but just not shown to anybody, right? We want to go somewhere where your content can be appreciated for what it is.
I think the term is censored, right? You know, that's a term that's not really used anymore. I want to look up the definition of censored and read it, and we'll see if it applies to what's happening to people like me. Because look, I noticed Sean Baker. At first I said to Chris, I said, why is Sean Baker doing so well on Instagram? And then you looked it up, and what did you say to me, Chris?
It doesn't look like he's even posting content on Instagram. So the followers are coming from something else, like being on a bunch of podcasts or wherever. They just go find his Instagram and then do it. But I think when we looked the last time, he hadn't posted anything there in well over a month. And I have a feeling, a sneaking suspicion, if you will, that the reason for that is the same exact reason that we are talking about. He looked at all the time, energy, and effort that went into it and said, I'm not getting the reach out of it. So what's the point of putting the content there, right? We can put it somewhere like X or potentially on Rumble, which we're going to be playing with here over the next few months, and get at least as much, if not more, reach out of it, and not have to be actively yelled at for saying something like, what was the strike that we found in your Instagram account from last year?
Remember, Anna, we found one strike on Instagram. Like they went after me for something. Now, Chris, I can't remember the exact verbiage, so I'm gonna you're gonna think Chris is making this shit up. Chris, why was I censored on Instagram?
So, and the best part is this was appealed by, I believe it was Debbie, because they give you the chance to appeal these things, right? And she went in and appealed it, which means a human being then goes and looks at it, as opposed to just their algorithm, which says, ooh, you said a naughty word. And I'm trying to pull it up here on the fly, but I believe what it said was something along the lines of, and that's how you get fat. So here, I just found it. It says, okay, now it won't even show it to me. Yeah, that's due to atrophy. If you add in a high carb diet to that, that's how you're fat, right? And it was not an attack against the person. It was a reply to a comment that said, I don't understand how people can get that fat, or, you know, something to that extent.
How did I spell your?
YOU''RE.
Okay.
And so the only
So it wasn't grammatically incorrect. It was correct.
No, but they said, you're saying you are fat. And that's not okay in any context.
But
right?
the person,
you are fat.
The person brought it up. Why am I still fat? Right. And I'm just answering, well, if you do this and you don't do that and you have the atrophy from this and you keep eating sugars, well, that's why you're fat. I'm just answering their question.
Right. But obviously the algorithm doesn't have the ability to contextualize.
But then when you contest it, a real human looks at it.
Supposedly.
And they did the same thing. They said, no, we're not going to, this is a hate crime against someone. And I'm sitting there going, okay, why am I playing with these crazy ass people? This is the same company, Facebook, where someone in we got that Facebook group with over 30,000 people in it. Someone used the offensive term, and I'm quoting, bacon fat. And they wrote to me and said, hey, we're going to get rid of your private group because in a private group, you can't say things in private. What the fuck? Literally, what the fuck? Facebook. Is that where you are? Is that where you want to be? Guess what? I'm taking my ball and I'm going home because I don't need you. Right? And I think Facebook, what you're going to learn is a lot of people don't need you. Right? So if you got Facebook stock, folks, I'd start looking into that a bit because these people are going hard in the paint, as we like to say, and let them go hard in the paint because guys like me are jumping ship. Guys like Sean Baker are jumping ship. Guys like Dr. What's his name? The guy that mimics all of our stuff and puts it out on YouTube. What's his name? The chiropractor who calls himself doctor and he does low carb.
Dr. Berg?
Berg, yeah.
Damn, shots fired. I didn't know that he copied your stuff and did it.
Well, everything that either me, Gary Taubes, or Nina has ever talked about, everyone else copies it and walks on stage and now they're heroes. It's like, that's what, I'm not making this shit up. That's what goes on. Right? I was sitting at a conference next to Nina Teicholz, and the two people that came up before her were quoting shit as their own that came out of her book. And I'm sitting there going, Nina, that's yours. She goes, I know. And then, oh wait, that's yours too. She goes, I know. She literally had to go up on stage and go, hi, I'm Nina Teicholz. That work you just saw was from my best-selling book. Can you imagine? That's the world we live in now. Wow. But hey, those people can move ahead and do what they want. And then they take the old guys and go, okay, they're old. We're just going to get rid of them. I hate to go off on a tangent, but that's what Chris, am I making this up?
No, it seems to be what goes on. And so the question is, and Vinny, you and I had this conversation this morning, which is kind of what led to part of this decision, is like, do we water down the content that you put out? Because in looking at some of the stuff that you put out since they made that change in August, there are some things that still get pretty good reach outside of the people who actively follow Vinny Tortorich on Instagram. And what are those things? And the answer to that was really generic things, like 2 things you should never put in your mouth, right? And so you and I had a little bit of a conversation about that. And you said, yeah, it's fine to do that once in a while, but I can't be limited to that because we have to talk about the things that the audience cares about. We have to talk about those things. Is there a place that we could do that? And the answer is, yeah, but probably not on Instagram.
Yeah. And so that's why, Anna, do you have the term censored pulled up there?
Yeah, I think you mean censored, but not censured means to show disapproval.
Go on.
Or blame, but censored means to remove something.
Okay, you see, they're not removing it, but I'm being shut down, and that's why when Chris goes, well, you can
to block it from being shown, it's censored.
Okay, when Chris is going, well, you can be more vanilla and just do this. And it's like, that's what I said, Chris.
But why? The other people aren't being more vanilla. I don't get it. Why are other people allowed to say it, but you're not?
So that's what led to the Sean Baker conversation. He said,
what
well,
about
Sean
Paul
Baker,
Saladino, who says fucking nutty shit?
Well, he's saying he's saying eat vegetables, eat this, eat honey, Manuka honey. So he can say whatever he wants.
But he also eats organ meat, Hart.
Yeah,
Anna, he eats raw organ meat on the thing.
He goes
into Whole Foods and basically calls them out for their bullshit. Why not?
Well,
I'm not saying this is a judgment.
Listen, I'm giving you the answer. If I did more Paul Saladino shit, my numbers would go up. You see, now you're playing into their bullshit. tell people to eat honey, tell people to eat this, eat that. They're not going to go after him. They're going to go after Sean Baker, who's saying just eat meat. And they're going to go after Vinnie Tortorich, who says cut out all sugars and grains. Everything else is on the table. We're not playing their game. And they're going, hey, and then Chris is sitting there going, well, if you play a little bit of their game. And I'm sitting here, when he said that, I had steam coming from my ears, because I'm not looking to become a popularity contest. I'm looking to help people. But when they start removing people, and people, whenever I do the consults, they'll go at the end of the thing, I'll go, hey, Vin, I'm a big fan of the whole thing. Why did you remove me? And I'm going, I never removed you. And, let me go add you again. When they start taking away, so it's not a popularity contest I'm worried about. It's I'm trying to help people and they're getting in my way. That's why I use the word censored, right? It's a form of it. It might be censored. It could be censored. It's somewhere in those two definitions, but I'm not going to put up with the bullshit. I'm just not going to do it. I pay Chris to tell me, Chris, what are we doing? And he's, well, you got to be more vanilla. Well, fuck, that's not what got me here. That's not how we ended up here. Not by me being vanilla. Not by a long shot, Anna. You've been here.
I actually think it's ironic, because I don't think there's anything about you that's vanilla, but I think that NSNG is actually a voice of reason in a crazy loud community. So I find the whole thing to not make any sense to me. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if you've been flagged. I don't know, because it doesn't make sense, because things come up in my feed where somebody's barbecuing a big ass brisket or a big ass ribs and nobody stops them, and it has 13 million views.
Because they haven't.
Why do the barbecue guys get to have their thing?
They haven't done three top selling documentaries, putting their ass on the line. They're still not being looked at. Does that make sense?
Okay.
When the powers that be go, wait, get this asshole and go, let's go get him. That's what they do. And when you're Sean Baker getting on Rogan, and when you're Vinnie putting out things on Amazon and all over the world, they don't like that. And then they come after us, right? So I love that you're making the argument, Anna, because that helps me explain why it's bad for me and maybe not for someone else. Chris, any thoughts on that?
I think, part of it is the knowledge of you as a personality, right? And we saw this with Wikipedia. You and I have had 20 hours worth of phone calls about Wikipedia, and I know you've talked about it on the show in the past. And the upside to something like Wikipedia, and ultimately its downfall as well, is that you can see everything that happened on the site. There's 100% transparency to every change, what was changed, who made the change. And therefore you can literally see, if you go dig around on Wikipedia, who the person was that made the decision to take down your post or your edit. And you can also then go see their profile and all of the edits that they've made. And you can realize, in the case of Wikipedia, this person is somebody who has a political agenda, right? In the way that they eat, in their lifestyle, that is 180 degrees separate from you. You do not see that on something like Instagram, Facebook, anywhere else. They just stop showing your stuff to people. And if you look at the content that does well, it's the generalized weight loss, health type of stuff. And there is a component to bringing more people into the ecosystem. But if the content that people actually need doesn't get shown to anybody, even if they come in on the other content and then follow you and then can't see the other things that you're posting unless they search Vinnie Tortorich on Instagram and go to your profile, that's kind of counterintuitive and defeats the purpose of being on the platform to begin with. And so even if you have to play in a different pool or a smaller pool, if the content gets the reach, then it starts to make sense, because you can impact the people who are actually looking for the thing that they need, and you can get it in front of those people, even if it's a smaller number of people relatively.
And look, I mean, going back to the Wikipedia thing, when I was complaining about that back in 2017, Scott Mulvaney and everybody, oh, why are you worried about that? Why? I said, because today is that, tomorrow is going to be something else, and the day after that is going to be something else. Oh, what are you worried about? I said, because it's not right. and they're going after me. At the time, they went after my buddy Malcolm Kendrick because he's a doctor over in England talking about the same. We got canceled on the same day, I think by the same person. And when that starts happening and people you pay say, oh, don't worry about that. You'll be fine. Yeah, I'm fine because I got everything else going on. But what happens when they start going after that? Right. And that's what's happened here. They've gone after all of it, and they're going to keep going after all of it. I just have to do what everyone else is doing. I just have to play whack-a-mole with moving to different platforms. So, Chris, we're going to do what? TikTok. We decided, even though it's not an old man's game,
just to see what happens. Why not?
We're going to mess around with TikTok. I already have an account there, so we're going to just start putting the stuff. I didn't realize this, but instead of just answering questions on X, I'm going to be actually putting the video content that I used to put on Instagram. I'm going to put that on X.
Yeah, you can do video on X, and you can do spaces on X, which is basically like Clubhouse, but better reach.
Oh, we're going to do everything on X, and we're going to also do how you say the Rumble. Now, here's the deal. We're going to still put it up on the YouTube, but it's going to be more of a redheaded stepchild. We're going to put it there. Can I still say that, or is that off the table now too? You can still say that, right? Okay. So we're going to put it on that after, and we can still put it on Instagram after, but they're not number one anymore because they failed me, right? Or maybe I'll do what Sean did and just fuck it. Just don't do it at all. As a matter of fact,
well, I do think there's something to be said for focusing on just a few platforms, because it is really hard to try to spread everything, everything right for every platform that we know. The algorithmic cock blocking is something we've talked about repeatedly. In fact, I did a story on my Instagram where I was wearing my cute new Air Jordans, and I said, it said first outing after surgery, check. Right. First outing with new Jordans, check. And the flood of messages that I got, so you had surgery? What's going on? I was like, well, I can tell you obviously don't listen to the podcasts where I went into extreme detail about everything, and also my Substack, and also other places. I hadn't said anything on Instagram because why? It's not the platform for that. Right. But as one does, I was feeling cute with my new Jordan, so I can do a little selfie and do the story. And I realized, I was like, oh yeah, it's so hard to try to get everybody all the information that I want to get to them. Because I would imagine there's a lot of people on Instagram who would benefit from hearing the surgery story, but they're not going to hear it because they're only on Instagram. That's it.
And I'll tell you let me tell you, at least on my Instagram, this is what they think I want to see. You need to put on a bikini and make sure that you're sitting down and I can see your crotch to where I can almost see one half of a lip of your vagina. That's what Instagram has become. I'm not kidding.
That's your Instagram. That's not what comes up in my Instagram.
Right, because that's what they think.
Mine's dogs and coffee and ballerinas.
Well, that, usually mine are, like four-wheel drive vehicles, model airplanes,
and one sliver of a pussy lip,
and a piece of a pussy lip. And here's the thing: I guess they look at it and go, "Okay, he's a male." I never click on those. But
it's not a human who's doing this. You know that, right? This is the algorithm.
It's the algorithm. And I asked Coddington. I said, Coddington, I never click on these things. Well, sometimes you end up clicking on it because you go, "Wait a minute, I think I see vagina." So, I said, Coddington, I click on rowing videos, cycling videos, RC airplanes and boats, and archery, right? Yet the majority of what they'll show me some archery. Every now and then there'll be a crash of a RC airplane, and then there's like, vagina shot, like every crotch. Chris, you're a male. You have Instagram. What do you get?
So I don't use Instagram personally. The Instagrams that I'm on are mostly yours or
your clients' Instagram, so that everything.
Pure Vitamin Club. But My guess with that, Vinny, and I'm trying to pull mine up right now because I don't actually post anything on mine.
Right.
You know, I've had an account for 5 years or whatever and just never used mine because I get sick of social media. But that to me would be the fitness influencer side of Instagram, right? They know that you're into fitness. They realize that you are a male and then go, oh, well, also, here's something that will keep you on the platform, Mr. Fitness interested person, right? And it's, you know, somebody recording their set of squats at the gym in a not revealing outfit. Yeah,
Right,
mine's fairly vanilla.
I just
scrolling through
mine,
it.
Anna. This is what's on it. At the top, you can see in that corner, there's a woman who just has like a shirt painted on her, right?
Mhm.
There's a couple of comedians. I just clicked. I'm gonna scroll down. I'm just gonna use my thumb, scroll down. Here we are. Where's my buddy Joe Coy? Who, boy, he's had a rough time. Joe Coy, Stallone.
He brought it on himself.
I don't want to talk about it. But here we are, chicks with crotches, you know, just chicks with crotches. And I'm like, what the F? It's not like I'm looking at chicks with crotches, right? But they never stop sending them, ever. I've seen more side boob than I've ever wanted to see in my life, right? And I'm not into any kind of porn stuff. It's not like there's any porn on my internet or my computer or anywhere.
What are we talking about right now?
We're talking.
Are we getting to something?
No, we're getting to this is what's popular on Instagram.
Oh,
that's where I am.
but again, that's nothing what's on my Instagram. So everything is tailored to what they think the individual is doing.
Right.
And whatever you linger on for even more than a second, they're going to give you more of.
Okay.
Same with TikTok.
All right. So
you don't look at TikTok, so you probably don't have much. You just are posting there.
Yeah, I don't know how to get on. I don't know if Chris has figured
I've got ballerinas. I've got dogs and cats, makeup advice, and comedy memes.
Oh, I do get a lot of Vishalas. Yeah. So yeah, I get that too.
So the algorithm's doing something right, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
they just keep showing you.
But the one thing they won't show is other people who want to look up how to lose weight. They're not showing my stuff to them. That's for sure. And they were at one time.
Oh, yeah.
At one time, we would get 30, 40, 50, sometimes 100,000. What's my biggest number, Chris, that I've gotten on a post?
Well over 1 million on a few of the ones we did.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half ago. Yeah.
But recently, if I get to 10,000, that's the biggest I'll get now.
Yeah.
Biggest. Period. So,
well, unless you pay to boost it, then you might get a little.
Well, and that Anna is the thing
which
that's
they do
interesting.
want you to boost it.
Because if you look at it, the older stuff you can see, and one of the few things that Instagram gives you is the ability to look at, you know, okay, out of the 10,000 people this post went to, how many of your followers did it go to?
Right.
How many non-followers did it go to? And you can see on a lot of Vinny stuff, it's 99.9% followers, 0.01%.
Yeah. So they're not showing it to like they do. Like now when you scroll through your Instagram, it's not just people you follow. They're constantly putting in new reels from shit you didn't ask for.
Yeah. And what they're looking for is the generic content that will appeal to anybody on that level. And so somebody, Anna, that puts up a generic ballerina video, I'm not sure what that would look like, right? That has a bigger chance of hitting your feed than anything that Vinny is putting up, even though you follow Vinny, you interact with Vinny on a daily basis. Even as a follower and interactor of Vinny, there's a very small chance you will see that versus that single piece of content that they can show to 20 million people potentially. That's the content that they really favor. And it makes sense if you think about it from Instagram or TikTok's perspective. They're trying to entertain as many people for as long as possible with as little content as possible.
I never go to the For You page on Instagram. So this is illuminating to me in a sense. I just now, after scrolling for a while, got to some food pictures, but I don't also look for a lot of, I'm putting up food content, but I'm not looking for it on my thing. Dogs and makeup. That's what mine is. But it is really interesting how in the For You page now is filled with ads as well. Sponsored stuff.
That's the other thing. It's, you know, for me, you would think
loaded.
a guy that's posting low carb stuff every day and talking about health and fitness, you would think that my For You page would have some of that. And if there's not a chick in a bikini doing weightlifting, I don't see it. Period. Think about
That
that.
algorithm knows you.
Yeah, it knows what I want to see. I mean, I'll look up stuff about, Stallone or, Schwarzenegger or, any of these old golden era bodybuilders, right? I'll go look those up sometimes and see what they were doing at this point or that point. You would think that would come up in my feed, but it doesn't, right? It just does. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We're trying something different. That's all I'm trying to say. Now,
I get it.
place where I'm not trying anything different is Villa Capelli, because once
no.
you have a winner in life, you stick with it, right?
Social media is still evolving. Olive oil, good olive oil, they got it right 2,000 years ago, and we're sticking with it.
And let me tell you something. People say to me on the consults all the time, look, I know you push Villa Capelli, but what other brands? It's like, okay, why are you even looking for another brand? I'm sitting there going, why are you even concerned about another brand? This is the brand. End of story.
End of story.
Well, is there something else that's kind of expensive? Yeah, 3 liters.
It's not actually.
Anna, tell people what you've paid for 325 milliliters of olive oil. You've paid over $50 for that kind of crap.
Oh, no. There was a local one, because I live in olive oil country here in the central coast of California. They make wine and olive oil here. And Grissini made one, really famous winemaker. And they did their own olive oil. And for a 750 milliliter bottle, it was $125.
120. So
For 750 milliliter, they're 350. Right. Yes, it was like $50. It basically would make Villa Capelli look like you got it at Walmart. Like, it was like, what?
Yeah. All right. So 3 liters, that's
3 liters is 125, I think, or 120 or 110 or something. I don't even remember. Let me look so I can get this right.
I think it's 100 milliliters is a liter.
I have to admit, Stephen wrote me about the surgery, and he's like, is there anything I can do? And I was like, can I have some olive oil?
You should have said, yeah.
I did. I pandered. I played the surgery card for small oil.
Yeah, no, you could have also said, hey, can you send Vinny some free olive oil?
I should have. How selfish. How selfish of me.
I would have thought of you, Anna. Like when I got Guam and Steve wrote to me about Guam, and I said, send Anna some olive oil. Help a girl out. It
was really funny. I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, if you have any. He's like, yeah, I do. He's like, that's not what I meant. People just say that, Anna. They don't mean it.
Yeah.
So get your Villa Capelli olive oil. Or if you can try to write Stephen and play the surgery card, but I don't think it's going to work as effectively because he's been my friend for 12 years. Go to villacapelli.com. Use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE. You'll get 10% off your order each and every time, which is honestly usually how I order it. He does have the BOGO thing still. For if you buy a 3 liter tin, you get a second one for 25% off. That's a separate thing. It has the discount code right there on the page. Vinny and I always say to make sure that you get your cart up to at least $140, $145. So when you use the discount code Vinny, you still qualify for free shipping. And the reason we say that is because oil is heavy and it's very expensive to ship. And we're going to put that on Stephen. We're going to go for the free shipping. That's what we're going to do. Because this is America and we want free shipping.
Screw Stephen over because he didn't send Anna free olive oil. So get him every chance you get the discount.
No, he's sending it now because I did play the surgery.
In that case.
No, he is.
Anyway.
But let's still screw him over. It's fine.
Yeah. Hashtag screw Stephen Crutchfield. And don't put that, folks. That's not
it's a joke.
That was a joke.
I hate that we have to explain jokes.
I know. Kurt Lapierre, that was a joke.
He gets jokes.
Oh, Anna.
He doesn't read books, but he gets jokes.
By the way, Anna, can I show you something?
Yeah.
I think I got a photo of this. So I hear from Robin Dobbins the other day. And she goes, hey, I need which address are you currently using? So I gave her the address. Rose Dobbins has been at it again.
Oh, I know what this is because I already knew about it. Oh my God.
Bonzo, when Bonzo was a puppy, is a picture that Serena originally took. Come on.
That is so cute.
I cannot wait to get this framed.
That is so, you guys who are not watching but are listening, Rose Dobbins painted a picture of Bonzo. She's so talented.
Oh my God. She down to the toenails that Bonzo won't let me clip anymore. But that was back in the days when you could clip them. Look at that.
I
Look-
remember meeting him when he was that age. Remember we went on that hike
Yeah,
in
we took Izzy
Reseda?
and
And
me
he
you and your
and he
husband.
just had the full butt. He walked with a peanut shaking butt. He's so cute.
Oh yeah, just kind of like a sachet going on.
Yeah, just a little butt wiggle.
Yeah,
See, now you see why my Instagram feed is filled with dogs.
that one's going right here in my
so
office where I
cute.
can see it.
That
Yeah,
is so nice. This is why Rose Dobbins is all of our absolute favorite Dobbins.
as Dobbins go, look, I mean the bar is not very high for her, but the bottom line is she is everyone's favorite Dobbins.
Yeah.
And speaking of Dobbinses, of course I see it on Instagram. Robin Dobbins, she puts pictures up. You know, she's been working on power.
She's been lifting.
Yeah, and
It's impressive.
I got to tell you, her technique has come around.
That's great.
Has come around. You know, she's really figuring out how to get that bar underneath her. That's what powerlifting is. It's faking a bar so that it's underneath you, and then you get it. that's all powerlifting is. Using momentum.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Why would someone decide instead of just regular lifting to do powerlifting who's not going to be like an athlete or competing? Can you tell me what's the thinking behind that? Is there a benefit?
You know, I don't really know.
Is it just more fun, more challenging?
I think she wanted to learn something new.
Yeah.
And just because I've had several consults with Robin,
Mhm.
I think it was more that she wanted to, anyone can go lift weights. You go up, you go down, you rinse and repeat, right? You go slow enough and you cause some hypertrophy, that's muscle growth. You go home, you eat yourself a piece of meat or some eggs, game over. But powerlifting is kind of like my new obsession with rowing, right? When I was just rowing on the machine, you can make all kinds of mistakes. But then when I got in a scull out in the water, I was like, holy shit. You try that stuff on the water and the water will talk back to you real fast.
Mm.
Right? So then you go, okay, I got to now respect this boat and figure out how to keep it upright so that I can continue to row. Right? So then you take that to the rowing machine. So your technique gets better all the way around. I think she wanted to, learn something new.
That's great. We should all be learning something new.
Yeah. Look, I mean, either
don't let your brain get all stale.
There's a famous song by Tim McGraw, "Live Like You Were Dying." Right? I don't know if you guys remember that song.
That's extreme, but yeah, okay.
You should live like you're dying, right? If you got bad news, you're going to go out, you go skydiving, he did this, he did that. He tried to ride.
Oh,
Well, he did, he started living right when he found out he was dying in a song. So yeah. Yeah. That, you
do
go
you
out,
have to skydive or can you just do powerlifting?
you can do whatever you want. Robin decided not to skydive, like the song said.
I mean, we don't know that for sure. We haven't asked her.
We're going to play a little bit of the song. Debbie, you're going to have to cut this out.
By the way, Vinny, I just remembered what we were supposed to do looking at my notes. NSNG 101. So we have to do that next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
I got a whole thing.
I'll play a bit of this. It's Tim McGraw from probably 2000.
Why don't we end it with that? Because we're done.
No, because I got a different song to end on.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we talked about something new in the show, and a song came up in my head, and I got to play that one. Okay. So here we go. This is Tim McGraw. And folks, I want you to listen to the words in the song. I'm going to play just enough for you to get the thing. Here we go. Were you guys able to hear that, or did it cut out for you, Anna?
A little bit. I heard about Rocky Mountain something.
Rocky Mountain climbing. He went 0.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu.
Okay.
He learned to love deeper and eat sweeter. I don't know. But, we should all live. Look, I've always said country and Western music is to teach white people how to live. That's really what it is. It's white rap. Call it what you want. right? And that song is the perfect example of that. It really is. You know, we should all be living like we're dying. And I think that, you know, just talking to Robin over the years and, you know, just, she was like, yeah, I'm not just going to lift weights. I'm going to take it to the next step. I'm going to go learn how to actually, you know, manage weight. And I remember doing that when I was a kid. It's like I was living in Louisiana. It's like, wait, there's areas in the world where there's snow on a mountain and people take these very, very slippery sticks, put them on their feet, and they go down the mountain. Wow. I would watch the Olympics like, yeah, we're doing 65 miles an hour. I was like, he's doing 65. In my mind, 65 was like, it might as well have been 1,000 miles an hour. He's doing 65 standing up. Look at that. Look, I couldn't wait to learn how to ski. I didn't know how I was going to get to that because I was in a swamp. But guess what? As soon as I was able to figure out, I got a little money in my hands, I got this, where's a ski slope? And that's what I did. Right. And everything in my life. So I get it when someone says, I don't want to just go lift weights. I want to make it interesting.
Right.
Right. And that's what it's all about.
So that's the benefit of powerlifting. It makes it more interesting.
That and you learn and you skill. Right. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. You learn how your body interacts with the weight. Right. How to move that weight from point A to point B. The most efficient way. Give her a lot of credit. And a lot of people, look, I'm watching a lot of them do Tim Mallion, waking up every morning, right? Walking, jogging. Scott King is going to do a full-on triathlon by 2025.
Foxy has been going crazy. Hoxie.
She's out of her mind over there doing stuff. And that's what keeps me going, Anna. That's why people go, why do you keep doing this? Because of those people and everyone like them, right?
Yeah.
Lazarou, about my age over in Canada.
Terry.
You know, riding his bike like a madman.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Dan Coddington, Cotty Cod.
Don Cunnington's Friday, 5:00.
He hasn't texted us any Instagram or TikToks lately. And I feel like, is he okay?
He still texts me 5-10 times a day. Maybe he just doesn't like you anymore. I don't know. I can find
Impossible. He loves me.
Well,
and I love him.
So look, I think this has been an informative podcast. Chris, we're going to keep it open until Sunday night, right?
Yes, sir. So we said
The VIP group. Yeah.
The 28th at midnight.
And everyone is loving Chris in the group. Chris is the moderator of the group. Would you call yourself the moderator, Chris?
The Vinnie adjacent participant, I guess, to that group.
Yeah. And everyone's loving it. I get nothing but great. I haven't gotten a negative comment yet. Now, just because I'm saying this, knock on wood, I'll get a negative comment.
Yeah, don't worry.
So, folks, if you want to sign up, go do it right now. VinnieTartaris.com/VIP. Now, Anna Vocino, I've been cooking her stuff. Serena's been off shooting a series out in California. Someone says, what is she shooting? Deer? I think, no, she's an actress. Come on. Shooting deer. Well, wife doesn't shoot deer. So, Anna's been out. I've been cooking for myself.
Serena's been out.
Oh, Serena, what did I say, Anna?
This is how people get confused and think that we're married.
Okay. Freudian slip right there. Yeah.
Serena's been out working in California.
He could have said Gina, Nancy.
I could have said my mom's name. Who knows?
Marie.
So here's the thing. Oh, by the way, if you go to my Instagram, there's a picture of Marie and Sai.
Nice.
Go check it out. Yeah. It's back when they were both still fat, back in the late 80s. And they're in front of a car. My dad bought the same car and fixed it up that he picked my mom up on their first date in Ford Fairlane. At any rate, Anna Vocino, folks, I've been eating nothing but Eat Happy Kitchen powders and sauces to the point where I can't wait for Serena to come back so I can eat something else. That's how much I've been eating it. But you're going to love the stuff. You want to go get Eat Happy Kitchen sauces and powders. You got the pucked up stuff left, Anna?
Yeah, we do. We have 63 twin packs of the pucked up barbecue. And what this is, we don't put any anti-caking agents or fillers or anything that makes the manufacturing process easier for spices, which every other spice company does. We just have the actual ingredients that are listed on the back of the ingredient list on the canister. That's what's actually inside. Now, we had a few cases of our barbecue that was just made 3.5, 4 months ago. They started to puck up. So they're kind of like caked in the can. So you got to just jam a fork in there. And by the way, this will happen over the summer anyway. Sometimes they'll clump because of humidity. So jam a fork in there. So we decided to mark those down 33%. So they're $16 for a twin pack. Also, too, I will say this. We are down to 20 twin packs of our spicy arrabbiata sauce. And it will be a little while before we're able to make more. So if that's your thing, I would stock up on that. But go to eathappykitchen.com. Thanks, Vin.
Check it all out. Chris, you got anything you want to push?
Other than just make sure if you want to get into NSNG VIP, you do that before midnight. Vinny, before we jump off, I had a question. So you said you're not eating anything except for the sauces and spices. You do realize you're supposed to put them on things.
Oh, yeah. I've been putting it on fish. I put it on the meat. I made the triple crime the other night,
Oh, yeah. You did the Fra Diavolo.
Oh my God.
By the way, I like your thumbnails on Instagram. They look good.
Yeah, you would think that, but apparently I'm public enemy number 1 on Instagram. It's sad that I have to go away from it because, they're not helping me. They're hurting me. So,
yeah.
I always say I help my sister-in-law. She's my sister-in-law. She's Serena's sister-in-law. She was like 2 years ago at Christmas. She goes, "Oh, I see you have 20,000 Instagram, and I have like 3 total people. How?" And I said, "Oh, I think I know what you got to do. You're a good-looking woman. Throw on some spandex and show a few exercises." She's up to 1 million. She's at 1 million.
Vinny, I think you just explained your Instagram feed.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty much.
How did you know that was what she was supposed to do? Could it be that was what was showing up on your Instagram?
You had a point of reference.
Because I told her, I said, look, whenever I see this stuff, these people have 500,000, 2 million people in the whole thing. And she goes, "Oh, I'm not going to put a bikini on and show my pussy lips." And I said, no. You don't have to, just put on some Lycra and go dance around. Literally, that's all she does. And she's at 1 million people. I'm not making it up. So, I mean, okay, Instagram, you want women shoving their vaginas in the camera? Knock yourself out. I'm moving on. I'm good. I don't have a vagina, and whatever I have, I'm not shoving it into the camera. So there you have it. This song, when we started talking about X, came to my mind. How did I know that there was one song in the world where the term X is involved? Do you guys know what song that is? Don't go looking shit up, Chris.
I was going to go with Exhibit, but that's just me.
Oh, this is not Exhibit at all. Exhibit.
I was thinking X going to give it to you, but then,
I'm pretty sure these guys have never heard of Exhibit. So on behalf of Chris Shaffer and Anna Volcino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living, and let's do it with ZZ Top. Heard it on the X.